All right, we got another one in the verse series, and this time it is going to be something I've never ever talked about on this channel. It is from a franchise, or both of them are from the same franchise, and we're talking about none other than the 1984 A Nightmare on Elm Street versus its first sequel from 1985, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. So let's get down with it. We got 5 points we're going to talk about tonight, and we're gonna get it going. So I gotta grab my cold bottle of water as usual. We're gonna start off with A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. My number one point is the cast. We got Heather Langenkamp as Nancy Thompson. We got Ronnie Blakely as Marge Thompson. We got John Saxon from Enter the Dragon, which that's where I knew him from. He is playing Donald Thompson, or Lieutenant Donald Thompson. We have Amanda Wyeth as Tina. We have the introduction to Johnny Depp, Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, and Nick Coro as what was his character's name offhand? Rod Lane. So I had to stop and think there for a minute. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, And the characters are really cool. And we do get Lynn Shay, Robert Shay's sister, in one scene. She plays the teacher in this film. Just really, really great stuff. I mean, it's, we're going to talk about, both of these films. But, I mean, these two are going to be very, very tough to pick. But I've always loved one of them, and one of them is my favorite out of the entire franchise. Near the end of the video, we will show you, or I'll tell you, which one is my all-time favorite out of this entire franchise. So I got no cards here. It's why you probably see me looking down. For my second point, 1428 Elm Street, the house. The house is, I like the house. I really do. I think the house is the main thing. It's the setting, I like the fact, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the original film. I'm pretty sure by now it's been out 40 years. So this came out the year I was born. But it plays a big role. I mean, the house plays a really, really big role in this. It's one of those things. The house is probably about, because it's a two-story house. My house is a single story. So with lengthwise, it's about the same length as my house. It's almost like the same length and same height as the Myers house from Halloween. If that makes sense, from the John Carpenter original film. We get the blue door. We don't get the red door yet on it, so that's which makes it more iconic, because we get the red door in the second film. The dream sequences were well done. I remember when I was a kid, because I seen all these horror films when I was really, really young, around 4 or 5 years old. I couldn't distinguish which was a dream and which was reality that they were in. But as I got older, I noticed that which ones were the dream sequences and stuff. I think the dream sequences were very well done. The one that really got me going was it was due to a particular character that basically was killed off, and this individual keeps popping up with when Tina starts dreaming. So it's definitely. If you guys know if you guys have seen the film, you guys know who gets killed off and why this person is in Nancy's dreams or nightmares. So that the other dream sequence in this film I thought was really, really well done was I'm trying to think here which one would be in the beginning with Tina. I thought that was really, really well done when she finds herself in the boiler room and you hear Freddy scrape his claws up against like the metal pole. It makes that really, really something sound like that. I thought that was really well done. And then when I saw that scene, sometimes, when I haven't seen it for a while, I jump when he just pops up from behind at Tina in the boiler room right near the, the boiler area. I thought that was very, very good. A very, very good jump scare. Great job of what Wes Craven had did with this film. The FX, again, the FX and the music, great. I love the FX because, you look at the Johnny Depp death scene. How they did that with Freddy's hand coming up from underneath the bed and dragging down Glenn, which is played by Johnny Depp. That was so creative. And then all of a sudden it's like a big hole in the bed, and all of a sudden all this blood starts shooting up on the ceiling and the wall, and the mom comes in there and she's just screaming. That was very, very creative. You've never seen anything like it, up to that point, because, these slashers were starting to, come out. But nobody has ever seen a kill like that done on film, And we're talking about this was in the golden age of horror. Even the Rod Lane kill. With Freddy, when Nancy witnesses Freddy walking into the cell, and there's a reason why Rod is in the police station cell. There's a reason why he is accused of killing Tina. He's the primary suspect, but he didn't kill her. And we'll talk a little bit more about that because it comes up to my last point here for the second film. And Freddy makes it look like it's a suicide. Hangs him with the sheets, and that was traumatic. Even the music too. After he gets killed, it's great. Every piece of music in this film is great. It's done great. I think the Marge Thompson kill was really, really creative. She was basically, she didn't believe that Freddy was alive. She thought Nancy was playing tricks on her at the dream clinic with pulling out the hat from underneath the bed. That makes her go on a drinking spree. At the finale, Freddy goes up to the bedroom, it kills her. Basically, he's on flames and he's on top of the bed, on top of her, and just whatever he was doing, choking her out or whatever the heck he was doing. But that was pretty intense right there. The best kill, and I saved the best one for the last, and that's none other than Tina's. That whole scene, because she was Freddy's first victim in the film, and that whole scene there was just epic. I always get goosebumps when I watch it because when the rocks are getting thrown at the window, and she goes up to it, and Rod's asleep, and he goes, Freddy's like this, Tina, like that, and then she goes downstairs to the back door of the house, and she says, "Who's there?" And he says it again, Tina, and then he says it like in a really like a weird voice. And he's like, "Who?" And she's like, "Who the hell is that?" And you see him in the alleyway, and he's like, got the long arms, please God, She's like, "Please God," and then he looks at her. "This is God." That was freaking, and he starts running after her in the alleyway. That was really, really crazy, man. Them leading up to, she basically runs back to the house, to the back door, and it switches over to the real world, and she's underneath the bed, the sheets over and everything else, and Rod's like wondering what the hell's going on. She gets lifted up in the air. He can't figure out what the hell's even going on, and she gets sliced up in her chest area, and he gets drugged up on the wall and just is basically dying. They recreated that scene with the Julia kill in New Nightmare. So, from what I know, behind the scenes how they did that. I guess the room that they did that kill in, with her being on the ceiling, it rotated around or something. But I mean, it was really cool. I mean, that was one of my. I mean, that's one of my favorite kills in horror movie cinema, is that kill because it was so well done. Uh, but yeah, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, from 1984, definitely a damn good movie, a damn good horror movie to watch. I liked everything about it. But now we're going to move on to A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. The Walshes move into the Thompson House, 1428. This one has red door. Cast, we got Mark Patton as Jesse Walsh. We got Kim Myers as Lisa. We have Hope Lang as Mrs. Walsh. We have Clu Gallagher as Mr. Walsh, and he also did Return of the Living Dead the same year as this film because this film came out in '85. We got Robert Russler as Grady. Of course, we got the return of Robert Englund. But yeah, I mean, it's I mean, this one's a great one too, and it's more about body possession. Jesse. It doesn't really explain how Freddy gets inside Jesse's body, but it's really really crazy, and he possesses Jesse, and you do see in a point in the movie where it's in the scene with Coach Snyder. Again, I mean, if you haven't seen this, I mean, this is probably gonna be spoilers to you guys. So if you guys don't mind spoilers, that's okay. But this movie has been out for 39 years. That scene there is when Freddy comes out of Jesse and gets him. And that guy, and that person that's playing Freddy is not Robert Englund. They were going with a different guy, and they come to find out that that guy wasn't working out. And they said, we got to get Robert back for the role. We got to get Robert back. And they got Robert back for it. And that was really, really cool. But you can tell it wasn't Robert Englund in that scene as Freddy. But that whole kill there of Snyder was epic. It was, ugly, I mean, it was, whipping him with the towel. He's nude. He's nude. He's up against the shower stall wall and getting whooped. I mean, in the ass with the towel, and all of a sudden, Freddy comes out of Jesse and claws him in the back, claws him to death. I would have to say best kills in this film would be Snyder was a good one. Grady's was an awesome one. I love that one because you actually get to see Freddy before he kills Grady come out of Jesse's body. You get to see that. So that was really, really well done. I really liked it. Of course, you can see it was like a prosthetic Jesse body when Freddy's coming out. But, hey, that's what they had. I mean, that's what they had. They didn't have all the high-tech technology back in '85 like we do now to make stuff look even better. But I think horror movies back then were made a lot better because everything was practical. It wasn't CGI. But yeah, I mean, to me, the best kill was the Grady. But I also loved the pool party massacre. That was, awesome. I love the point when, Freddy comes up and it's right after when it's right when Jesse transforms into Freddy, or Freddy comes out of Jesse, and he crashes through the living room, or not the living room, but like the kitchen area of Lisa's parents' house, and he disappears, and all of a sudden, everybody's got quiet at the pool party, and all of a sudden, he comes up from this wooden thing that's in the ground, and all hell breaks loose. And there's one point where Freddy says to the one guy's trying to calm him down, I'm trying to help you, and he says, help yourself, fucker, like that. And that was epic. He takes the guy and then throws him over the grill. I mean, that part I thought was kind of funny, though. Him throwing him over and him saying, help yourself, fucker, like that. That was funny. The special effects was great, especially with the bus at the beginning on the pile of rocks balancing off. That was really, really cool. Even going off into the desert, that was awesome. The whole special effects with the bird was really, really cool. I thought that was really well done. The basketballs and stuff that were hitting Coach Snyder and the gym was really cool. I loved how that was done as well. Um, the whole thing when Freddy says to Jesse in the beginning, "I need you, Jesse. You and me, we got special work to do. You got the body, I got the brain." And he peels off part top of his skin off of his head and he reveals the brain. He starts laughing, and Jesse screams. The way Jesse screams is just hilarious. Uh, uh, you name it, man. The special effects was really, really good, really well done. The music is very, very different. It's not the music from the original, from the first film. I like this music a lot better. It really is. And I know this movie gets a lot of hate because, Jesse is the final guy in this film. It's not Lisa is the final girl. There wasn't a final girl. It was, well, you'd probably say the final couple, as we should say it here, Jesse and Lisa. But Jesse was more so the final guy. But, I liked Kim Myers as Lisa. I liked her. I thought she was very attractive, Um, Klug Olger, again, I love him. I mean, every scene he's in this film is very, very funny. But, by the end of the day, I'm going to make my decision now. Which one do I like the most? Which one is my favorite out of this entire franchise? And some people might disagree, but that's okay. We're all here to, everybody's opinions are different, once again. But my favorite film out of the two, out of this entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, is A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. I'll say it again, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, is my all-time favorite. It is my favorite one out of all of them. I just think the whole eeriness of the body possession part is really, really cool. I think this one has got the best kills. The music, I love the music in this one more than I do in the first movie. And I think our heroes, which is Jesse and Lisa, were way better, in my opinion. And no offense to Nancy Thompson, but I just love that dynamic of Lisa trying to help out Jesse, and then showing her her affection for him, and trying to battle Freddy Krueger. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. I mean, hey, the winner, in my opinion, is A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Once again, I think it's the better movie. It is my favorite film in this entire franchise. And enough said. Take care.